Here and hash 039, a sneak peek at what and hash 039 in store for everyone on January 20th. And the Bitcoin reserve is one of the big issues that everyone has been talking to me about. We and hash 039 heard a lot about the Bitcoin reserve. And I feel like that and hash 039 the most important thing. It and hash 039 kind of like being, talked about in the area. We and hash 039 missing the big, hey, talk to me, part, though, which is what and hash 039 going on outside of the whole Bitcoin hype system. Because I and hash 039 been saying for a long time that Bitcoin is going to be talked up and pushed hard into the retail market, while the big players are the ones who will really benefit from this. Therefore, let us just look into this and talk about it. Let and hash 039 begin with this post. But first, I want to say hello to everyone who just joined the group. Everyone at all times. My name is Johnny. For those who are new to the channel, I hope that by the end of this film you decide to subscribe. It and hash 039 clear that Intel_X plus data send Intel. The Trump administration will put together a crypto advisory board of 24 leaders whose job it will be to write laws, create a Bitcoin reserve, and push for clearer regulations. Now, on top of that, we have Smoke Dog over here, with a big shout out to him in line with this statement from the vice chair of the FDIC. Yes, that is true. And quote, the FDIC and quote, the same one you guys know pretty well. The work on tokenization and virtual goods in the United States will begin on the first day. January 20th is set. This is why it will not take long for digital assets to be regulated in the United States, and if we look into this further, that means planning a new route from January 10th, 2025. 10 days from now, some early thoughts on FDIC policy problems. At this point, it and hash 039 about 5 or 4 days, right? There might be a change in who runs the FDIC. The company wants to go in a different direction. I and hash 039 sure that work will start on January 20th no matter what. Now, let and hash 039 take a closer look at this. What exactly are the changes? Let and hash 039 move this over here and ask Burgess to open it in a new tab so we can read it more closely. First, the way the company handles digital assets and tokenization is another area that needs a restart right away. In 2021, banking companies released a roadmap outlining their plans to submit different policy files in 2022. These files would spell out what the business expected banks to do when it came to virtual asset sports. Following a change in leadership at the FDIC, this work was finally stopped in early 2022. Instead, the company came up with plans for how each institution should deal with its regulator at a higher level. And I think that and hash 039 still pretty much how the rules are right now. Before you play any games that involve virtual property or Bitcoin. Of course, this is true all the time, so let me just be honest here. It started to collapse FTX, which led to the forced closing of banks at the beginning of 2023. These bank closures were all linked to Operation Choke Point Number 2, which included the FDIC. They played a big role in Operation Choke Point 2.0 by stopping crypto from being used in banks. There have been times when we and hash 039 talked about how bad this method is because it has slowed down innovation and made people think that the FDIC isn't and hash 039 open for business if businesses are interested in anything related to blockchain or DLT, which is true. On top of that, Custodia Bank has pretty much confirmed this. So, okay, I think it and hash 039 pretty funny that they and hash 039 bringing it up now, since it did happen. Look, letters sent to more than 20 banks teaching them to stay away from all crypto-related activities have made this idea stronger. I still think that the model would have worked better if it had asked the agencies to clearly explain to the public what sports are allowed and how to play them in a way that meets safety and health standards. And if permission from the government is needed, those need to be dealt with quickly, which wasn't and hash 039 the case in recent years. The FDIC is going to make a change, and they may completely wipe the slate clean when it comes to digital assets and tokenization. That and #039S. What will happen on the first day, January 20th? This could be really cool. Now, as we pay attention to tokenization, we also pay attention to the big players, especially those in this market. Clearly, yes, I can name XDC, Algo, Stellar, and a group of names. But I am going to pay attention to Ripple and Hedera. First, there is the Hedera, which is a real foreign asset tokenization studio. This tokenization lab is something I think you should know about if you are, listening to applications. The RWA tokenization company from Hedera is a big name in the field if you and #039 interested in RWA tokenization in general. That and #039S crazy, mostly, right, which is why we come to Visa news. As of October 3, 2024, a whole new age of tokenization has begun. VTAP, the Visa Tokenized Asset Platform, is made to help banks securely, easily, and quickly send fiat currencies on the blockchain. Why is this important? What do you think about crossing over here? Her name is Hedera. Everything is linked to Visa at the bottom. It and #039S going to happen, card bills will be rewired, the USD settlement or USDC settlement will end, and this is just a guess, minutes without a blackout. In other words, the customer finances the business with their own pockets. You can pay for it with Visa, the stablecoin company, Foreign Pay, and Hedera, which you already know. We will talk about many of the ways that Visa and Hedera are connected. That being said, you know that for this movie, we and #039 just going to use this. Along with this from Smoke Dog, we also have proof that Hedera and #039's asset tokenization company follows all US SEC rules. Compliance is very important. The reason why properties like HBAR are always chosen is that they provide the technical foundation for the biggest economic projects for institutions. Along with following ISO guidelines, Hedera also follows SEC rules. This means that big businesses can use its blockchain without worrying about breaking international rules. And this is the Hedera blog asset tokenization process from Mars Ari. Of course, all of the legal issues are linked to this. To give an example, the KYC and AML checks, reports, security tokens, services, and everything else are all going through. Let me tell you about Hedera and #039's life through this.